As a company, Bluebeam continues to play a central role in AEC, oil and gas, and other technical industries. And Bluebeam Revu has really become the industry standard for PDF software as we focus on providing smart and simple solutions that facilitate a variety of digital workflows, such as design reviews, bids and estimates, RFIs, submittals, field inspections, site management, punch, closeout, and much more. Now, with each new release, we typically have a theme, and this year the theme is Field Ready, anywhere, anytime. Here are the new features that we're releasing with Revu 12. A SketchUp Pro plugin. SketchUp Pro users can now export any model to a 3D PDF and view and manipulate the model right within the Revu interface. Now with Revu 11, we introduced AutoMark, which allows you to automatically generate page labels and bookmarks from a region on your sheets. Now with Revu 12, you can create page labels and bookmarks from multiple regions in the PDF, and also add text, such as a prefix, suffix, or symbols. In Revu 11, we also introduced sets, which allows you to view and navigate individual PDF sheets as if they are a single document in a single tab. Now, Sets 2.0 adds enhanced navigation capabilities along with the automatic redirection of hyperlinks to the latest revision and compatibility with Studio Projects, our light document management system. Batch Link automates the process of creating complex navigational hyperlinks for your plan set. It's a huge time saver. Revu 12 offers quite a few measurement enhancements, such as being able to calculate length, area, volume, and wall area in a single measurement. And now you can also calibrate for both horizontal and vertical scales, giving you a more powerful measurement tool than ever. Now with Smart Groups, you're really here, you can view each element in a group within the markups list and make edits without having to ungroup them. Also, the subtotals for these smart groups will be automatically calculated for measurement annotations. Capture allows you the ability to embed a photo gallery into any markup. You can also scroll through the images and add, delete, or export them. Of course, there's even more to Revu 12. First, there have been a variety of studio enhancements, such as studio session administrators can now grant full control to trusted attendees. And you can now browse to files stored in Studio Projects through Revu's document management toolbar. Revu 12 also supports PDF forms containing static XFA technology, which can now be viewed, filled out, and saved within Revu. Reduced file size has been revamped for improved performance, along with a new user interface. OCR Plus in Revu Extreme offers significant performance improvements for large format drawings. And we didn't forget about headers and footers either. In Revu 12, the headers and footer settings are now saved with your document, allowing for easier editing and updating as revisions and new pages are added. So let's take a look at Revu 12 in action. Let me go ahead and jump into Revu. And for those of you who haven't seen the software before, this is the Revu interface. It's a pretty simple layout. We've got menus with a variety of drop-downs, and these are all completely customizable. So using this profile guide, we can go ahead and change profiles, say to the construction profile, which is my preferred one, and you'll see that both a couple of tabs have popped open. They're on the left, the bottom, and the right. But also we have a variety of new toolbars. Now this can all be customized with a right click to turn on and off those toolbars. So for example, here's the advanced text editing. And then these profiles can all be saved and exported so that everybody's working with the same profile within your company. A great tool for standardizing everybody. But we're going to rush real quick through the core features of the software. I want to make sure that you guys have a bit of a background before we jump into what's new in Revu 12. And to do that, I'm going to start by opening this left panel and go into File Access, also available under Tab Access, and accessing a couple of documents I use pretty regularly. You'll notice real quick that the scroll wheel works fantastic on an 8.5 by 11-inch document, just the way you expect, scrolling up and down. But as we go into this large format document, Revu is actually smart enough to know that you want to use your scroll wheel to zoom in and out. For those of you who have used other PDF software, this is not how they work. And it's a huge time saver for your workflows. Now, one of the great things about Revu is that we've got all of the standard markup tools that you'll be looking to use, either to replace paper and redlining workflows, or to go ahead and just have all the tools you're used to using in PDF. So, for example, we've got a variety of highlighters and pens, which can both do freeform or highlight text, various text boxes and shapes, and then a couple that are a little more specific to the industry. So the first would be a call-out, the new mullion design. So let's say there's a new mullion design for the edge of this room. We can type that right in during design review, go ahead and add a cloud here, right? And then actually drop that design right in as an image. So no longer having to sit here and wonder about that design. Here's that design right on the paper. Again, you guys all work visually. We, as an industry, are a very visual industry, so being able to put this all visually on a page is absolutely fantastic. Now, the only limitation here with just putting this all on a page in red is that at the end of the day, it can be a little hard to tell who said what. So Revu's actually built in some really easy ways to customize all of these markups so that you can go ahead and have a view that's all your own. Make it easy to tell who said what. So we'll go ahead, put fill color here, get some opacity. Let's change that text color to a nice blue. So here's a nice blue callout. And this doesn't just have to be done from the toolbars on top. It's also available on the side through the properties over here. So go ahead and give some fills here as well and change that opacity. So here we go, some customized clouds, customized callouts. But you'll notice the defaults are still red. So at any time, if you do want to put a red callout, you still have access to that. But how do you then access these callouts, which you've added with your customized properties? Instead of having to recreate it every time, Revu has introduced a powerful tool called Tool Chest. And for those of you who have not seen the tool chest is where all of your most recently used tools get stored with their properties for one-click access. So here's a carbon copy of that callout. Or with a double click, you can now put that into properties mode. And let's say we zoom out and come over here and zoom in. Add a sunshade here. There's all of those properties already set up, available for use for a completely different callout with completely different text. Same thing with the cloud. Now these recents all cache out at the end of each session when you close down Revu, but a quick drag can put them into My Tools, which is already set up at the top, or you can quickly and easily create a new tool set. So CAD-1 tools. Okay. Give that a quick save, click OK, and then just drag it on down there. So there's the callout and there's the cloud. And then these can all be exported to everybody on the team. So everybody can be working with standardized tool sets. One of the things that we often see customers doing going around is to create tool sets for each discipline. So if you're an architect and you're working with an electrical engineer and a mechanical engineer and a plumbing contractor, you can send them all tool sets in different colors and make sure that their comments all come through in those standardized colors. Okay. So once you've got markups on a page, where do you go from here? In most PDF software, all you've got is the markups on the page. But with Revu, you've now got the markups list, which allows you to track all of the markups that have been placed on the page and see a variety of metadata that's associated with them. There's a variety of built-in columns and the ability to create custom columns. Where this comes in really powerful is if you've shared your PDF with several collaborators. Again, I'm the architect and I've gone ahead and I've shared this with some collaborators. I can actually come through and just go ahead and pick up their comments and import them directly from the PDF. So the electrical engineer, mechanical engineer, and plumbing contractor have all come through and taken a look at this document. One of the things you'll see when we zoom out into one full page mode is that there's now a bunch of comments on this page. And it's really easy to tell who made which comments just based on those colors. So if we zoom in here, you can see, right, here's those mechanical comments, the electrical comments in orange, and the plumbing comments in purple. These are pretty powerful tools. You can visually represent everything on the page rather than having to hunt and peck and guess whose red line is whose, right? So you can visually easily see what's going on. But then you can go ahead and sort and filter any of these columns here so that you can, for example, jump between electrical comments on the page or jump within the markups list by clicking those comments on the page. Now the nice thing about filtering is that when we do go ahead and filter, say we're just going to filter for all of our plumbing comments, you'll notice that everything else gets grayed out. Again, helping us visually represent what we're doing every day in the field. You know, you don't have to look at the things you're not worried about at the moment. You only see the ones you want. And with these custom columns, like the responsibility column we've set up with a variety of names for choice, we can now start going through and assigning tasks and responsibilities to team members. So if we're going through, we can say, hey, can you please fix this? We'll have Robert fix a couple, and Rich, and Herbie. So all sorts of people coming through to fix this. Now we can sort by responsibility and export this to a summary. So within Revu, especially this design review, the design review or plan review workflows that you're used to doing on a day-to-day basis are absolutely a breeze. You use the markups on the page, you customize them, store them in the tool chest for one-click access in the future, import everyone's comments onto a single PDF, no having to copy and paste, no having to redraw them onto a single page. And now with the markups list, you can start assigning responsibilities and creating summaries, whether they go out to Excel using CSV or XML, whether they're printed to paper, or if they're a PDF summary. And to show you how that PDF summary looks, I'm going to go ahead and open the thumbnails tab here so you can watch as we attach it to the original PDF. So append to the current PDF, and we're going to create some hyperlinks as well. And Revu is going through, taking all of that filtered and sorted information and creating a list to let us know, sort, you know, here's how we sorted by the name, right? We've only got the filtered comments. And then let's say that, you know, Herbie has a question on where these roof drains are needed. A click right there will take him right on off to the PDF where he can view it, and then he can go ahead and jump back into the task list. So looking at little ways to streamline those workflows. Now, as we talk about these workflows, these are all somewhat offline, but Bluebeam Revu allows customers to collaborate in real time. So all of these workflows can be done not just, you know, sharing PDFs by email, but actually everybody working on the same PDF. And we'll get into Studio in the new features in Revu 12. Go ahead and check the question window real quick. See if there are any questions that need to get answered right away that are easier to show about the tools. Now, one of the key questions we do get quite a bit is whether the markups that you're being placed in Revu work similar to the markups in Autodesk Design Review. The markups in Revu are PDF markups, and in order to get back into AutoCAD, they do have to be imported as an XREF file. So they don't come natively back in like in Design Review. But one of the nice things about using PDF for all of this commenting is that PDF is an ISO standard file format. There's two benefits to that. The first is that anyone who receives your PDF can open it and view it in whatever native PDF viewer they have. They can mark it up, they can edit it, whatever their software allows them to do. So this file can now be shared with everyone on a project, regardless of technology limitations, right? The owner is not going to have any issues opening a PDF. They've probably got a PDF reader or a PDF editor on their computer. Now, one of the other big benefits about using Revu to do this and using that PDF ISO standard is that all of these files are archivable. So what you're talking about is a file format that 20 years down the road, 40 years down the road, 100 years down the road, you're still going to be able to open, because the board that runs that PDF ISO standard is really working on making sure that these PDFs are something that will last for 8 years to come. It's the digital replacement for paper. So you're not having to worry about needing a paper copy. You really can use a PDF as your archived file. Save it on a couple of backup devices, and you're good to go. That will always be there. Of course, there's a couple of other tools in Revu, which you'll see in Revu 12, that I think will give you a little bit more of an idea of just the power that you can have using PDF to work with your design documents. So I'm going to go ahead and actually jump on in, close these files, and jump on into the new features. And I'm going to go ahead and turn on our 3D model tree, because the first thing we're going to do is actually export a 3D PDF from SketchUp. So let me go ahead, open our file here in SketchUp. Now, new to Revu 12 is a SketchUp Pro plugin. Introduced in earlier versions of Revu CAD and Extreme was the ability to create 3D PDFs from Revit, Navisworks, SolidWorks, or any IFC file. Okay, so these could all be done from other programs, but now with Revu 12, you can create these 3D PDFs directly from SketchUp Pro by exporting a 3D model to Bluebeam. So you can come down here, hit the export button, and now export that 3D model. Now this allows for a new means of communicating project ideas or articulating complex 3D information in the universal PDF format. Now that this 3D PDF is created, you can easily navigate around your design model. Use a section box to isolate portions of the model that are visible, or otherwise. Let me go ahead. Let's find that file. Let's try this again. Here we go. Export that again. Have Revu pop on up. Looks like my screen froze for a moment, but here we go. So here is that model, right? So we can now easily navigate that model. Within Revu is the ability to do section boxes. I know there's some expensive software that allows you to do this kind of sectioning, but with Revu it comes standard in all 3 editions of the software. So not expensive at all to do this. Now one of the other things that you can do within Revu is you can actually isolate and move parts of the model. So if we're looking at that tree, we can even select all of the trees here, turn them on or off, and then we can actually use this transform tool to just pull them out of the way. Now, for those of you who have done some manufacturing work or have done some assemblies, this can be used now to animate assemblies, save views, and then show how all of the parts get assembled back together. Explode a model, even. And then, of course, within Revu, one of the great things about 3D PDFs is the ability to actually add markups. So all of the same markup tools that we just showed you are available on a 3D PDF, so that we can say change dome type, right? X out of that, and then continue navigating the model. But those markups are still there. That information is still there with that 3D PDF. So especially when it comes to Navisworks and stuff like that, if you've got a clash that's been detected, export it to PDF, then you can mark it up all you want, tell everybody what they need to do to fix the clash, send it on out. That could even be sent to the owner who doesn't have any software to view the Navisworks 3D models, but does have a, because 3D PDF is part of the PDF ISO standard. So with Revu 12, our robust 3D PDF options have expanded, including the SketchUp Pro plugin, but we've also added plenty of enhancements in the 2D world. So let's go ahead and take a look at those now. One of the first things that you're going to want to do on any given project is create smart document sets that are easily navigable by users in the field. So you open the Thumbnails tab here, you can see that the page labels in this file have a generic naming convention, 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. Instead of manually typing in the appropriate drawing number for each page label, you can simply go ahead and click Create Page Label up here and automatically create each sheet's name with the corresponding drawing number. So we'll go ahead, select a page region, come down here and select the drawing number. But with Review 12, AutoMark just got smarter. Now you can select multiple page regions, such as both that drawing number, and the drawing title, so we can add that as well. And we can even go ahead and add some prefixes or suffixes and symbols to either bookmarks or page label names. So this is the Valley College project. We'll append that with VCTC and click OK. Now what you're going to notice is that Review is going to create page labels for all 35 of these sheets in a matter of seconds. And you'll see here's A000, A100, A201. Even better, with AutoMark 2.0, your text doesn't even have to be selectable or searchable. So this works with files that contain non-searchable text, such as scans, to get your PDFs in order regardless of how they were made. Now, in the same way that we did create these page labels, we can also create bookmarks. So go ahead, use the page label that I've already created or a page region, and just select OK, and there's all of those bookmarks. As a final step, you can easily extract each sheet as its own PDF to create a lean and light document set for the field. It allows quicker access in the field, but it also allows multiple people to be working on the same pages at the same time. Click OK here, and we're going to go ahead and save this in our extracted project sheets. And go ahead and extract those off. Okay. Unfortunately, there is one drawback to creating a lean document set for the field, and that is that you lose the flexibility to work with related files like you can in this combined set of documents. So I'm going to go through and open up Sets now. Come to Tab Access and Sets. In Review 11, Sets was introduced to resolve this exact issue. We essentially give you the best of both worlds, allowing you the flexibility to keep your files light and lean while simultaneously being able to view and navigate an entire set of plans as if they are a single document. So let's put this workflow to action and create a new set. So click Modify Sets, and I'm going to go ahead and add all of those documents that we just extracted. So here they are. Hit Open and go ahead. And under these advanced settings, we'll start by sorting by both the file name and the page label. And as well, we'll use the advanced settings to establish a rule that based on our file naming and convention of Rev for revision, and then the revision number, old revisions will be crossed out, and then they will stack on top of each other. So click OK right here. And we've got the cross out, and we've got the stack. And we'll do that by file name. Awesome. I'm going to just save this set so we can use it in the future. Go ahead and save that. And then click OK here. So what you'll see is that now these are single sheets that we had in that folder, but they can easily be navigated just like they're a multi-page document. In Review 12, Sets 2.0 introduces a few enhancements, including the ability to view these files as a list, as well as to utilize the navigation buttons to both page up and down using your arrows, or to go ahead and use the arrows down here at the bottom to jump through the set. Now, sets are also now fully compatible with Studio Projects. So for those of you who are using Studio Projects for your light document management system, you can now share your set with the entire project team and access those files from the cloud in this set form as though they were a single PDF, combined PDF. Now, for those of you who are not aware, Projects is a free feature in Revu that acts as a lightweight document management system, allowing you to store an unlimited number of files and file types. Now, all your project partners will have access to the entire set and can open and check out individual files from within the set as needed, with Sets 2.0. And of course, these files can be synced down locally so that you can work offline while you're in the field. Very powerful tools. So now that we have our page labels and the sets created, one of the things that you're going to want to be able to do to create a navigable set of drawings that will allow both the office and field users alike to quickly click to a reference sheet, elevation, detail, RFI, etc., is to go ahead and hyperlink these all together. So here's that original set we were working with, and we're going to come in. Here's our index sheet. And the current process for how you set up a hyperlink is a little cumbersome. You pick the hyperlink button, you hyperlink the sheet number. You go ahead and you open the file that you want to link it to. Let's pick A100, because that's actually a different file. So let's go ahead and open A100, click OK, right? So then this has to get done again for A201, open, click OK. And as you can see, this is a good chunk of an intern's day, week, month, depending on how large your project is. With Revu 12 Extreme, the extreme version of Revu 12, you can now automatically link entire plan sets quickly and easily using the batch link tool. You can search your files, a folder, a series of folders, or even an entire set, and Revu will analyze all of your documents and automatically create hyperlinks to the corresponding destinations. In this scenario, we'll go ahead and create a hyperlink sheet set. So we're going to use this current set for this. And we're going to link all of the both sheets as well as the elevation details in the set that we just created. To search by sheet number, simply click on the page region right here, and go ahead and select the sheet number region in the drawing. So we'll come ahead, zoom out, pan on down, and pick that drawing number, just like we did for AutoMark. We're just going to click OK. And when I go ahead and click Generate, the search results and link destinations are going to appear in a list. I can then use the Link Manager to update the list as needed and save this configuration for future use. We'll go ahead and save this to the set. Okay. And then one of the cool things that we can do is actually under these link options, one of the new things is the ability to highlight all of those links automatically. So as you can probably tell, I really like the color blue. That's why I work at Bluebeam. So I'm going to go ahead and make those highlights blue. And click OK. And then just so you can see, the search terms all brought up destinations that have those search terms in the name of the page. So I'm going to go ahead and click Run here. And all of my drawing sheets and details will be automatically linked together based on those search parameters. So we'll go ahead and let Revu find all of those pages. Again, compared to doing this by hand, you can see that this doesn't take long at all. We're already at 100%. And what you can see is that 132 links were automatically created for us in just a matter of seconds. Okay, finish and close. Okay, now, again, this was something that used to take an intern or project engineer a number of days to set up. So huge time savings right here. And then what you can see is that as we go ahead and click through, let's go ahead and jump to A201. Now from A201, if we wanted to find this detail on A301, we can jump there. Go ahead and see that, or maybe come on back. Here's page A300. It looks like there's another detail there. We'll jump to that detail, and so on and so forth. All of those hyperlinks are set up so that we can go ahead and jump to those pages and easily navigate this document set. Now, as revisions are submitted throughout the project, we can update the set with those revisions. So as we had talked about earlier, right, we had the we set up those advanced revision filters. So now we can go ahead and let's add our revisions. So here we go. Here's my revisions. Give us a quick selection. Add those in. And one of the things you'll notice is that, for example, with A201 here, here's revision 2. We can hit the back button. Here's revision 1 crossed out. And then here's that original that we were working on in the first place. Now, Revu has updated the hyperlinks already from the index sheet to A201, right? So here it pulls up revision 2 within the set. But in order to update all of the links on this page as well, we're just going to have to rerun that batch link to make sure all of the links get redirected properly. So come on back. We're going to go batch link for the current set. And again, because we saved this all we have to do is regenerate, reselect our page region, and then go ahead and regenerate those search terms. Here we go. That's selected. Click OK. Generate. And now what you're going to notice is that, for example, for A201, that all turns to revision 2. So we're going to go ahead highlight those links again, because I forgot to save that with the set. Click OK. I'm going to save that to the set this time, just so that it's saved there. And then go ahead and run this so that we've got all of those links all highlighted. So we can go ahead and use all of those search terms. And you'll see that those hyperlinks have all been updated for us. The revisions are stacked. The old revisions are crossed out. And when we do go to click on those links again, so now that we come back to A201, jumps us to revision 2, and A300 is now highlighted on revision 2, so that we can jump from there to page A300 and just continue to go through. So it's a really simple way to go through and link up your projects. And this is only available in Revu Extreme, but it works on all of your files, and it's a very powerful tool. Now, just as a note, guys, Batchlink does support Studio Projects, SharePoint, and ProjectWise. So you can also easily and automatically link drawings from any of your document management systems. Very powerful tool indeed. Now, whether you are in the office or in the field, it's now time to start your work. You're ready to go on this one. So I'm going to go ahead and open up an estimation sheet set. And just going to go ahead and pretend that I'm a contractor right now. And I need to do both a flooring and a drywall takeoff. The first thing I'm going to do is come through and switch profiles. As we talked about earlier, that profile manager gives you a variety of tools. And when we switch to this takeoff profile, one of the things you'll notice is that the markups list popped up on the bottom, the tool chest on the side. And now these tools over here are all markup tools. So, actually it would help if I opened my estimation version of that file. Here we go. And we don't need the layers there. So to go ahead and get started, we're going to go ahead and calibrate this drawing. It's a best practice anytime you are doing measurements. So I'm going to go ahead and calibrate this real quick. Select 2 points. Hit the Shift key to make sure my line is straight. Nice little trick there. And put in the length here, 6 feet 8 inches. So let's go ahead and let's pick another known length, like that 19 foot 4 inches, and we're just going to test that length real quick. So here we go, 19.4, and perfect. Everything's all calibrated at this point. Okay, so in this example that I'm going to go through, I'm looking to find the floor area of room 103, and at the same time get the wall area for my drywall takeoff. So here's room 103. With Revu 12, we can go ahead and just take our measurement here of the square footage of the room. And Revu automatically calculates all of the other related measurements, including the wall area. Oops. Undo that, hit the Shift key to move my measurement up. So what you'll see is we've got 719 square feet there. But all those other measurements are displayed in the markups list down here. So as we select that markup and jump to it, you'll see that we've got the length, that area, the wall area, and the volume, all there in the markups list. Now, in the Measurements tab, we can go ahead and change that depth. And what you'll see is that the wall area and the volume automatically update here to 89 and 599 feet when we go ahead and change the depth. Now, another cool new feature within for measurements is Smart Group, which lets you group related markups and elements while still maintaining individual control for each of those markups. So for example, we've got a couple different types of flooring here, baseboard, concrete, carpet, hardwood flooring, resilient flooring, and we can go ahead and we can pick these, right? So let's multi-select a couple. We'll take resilient flooring, hardwood flooring, and our carpeting, or we'll just do the two. We'll go ahead like that. And we can go ahead and group them, the flooring takeoffs together. So we can go ahead and now we've got a new group. We'll rename this flooring right here. And then what you're going to go see is that as we open this up, here's that resilient flooring and all the resilient flooring markups, and here's the hardwood flooring. Now, if we select just one of these markups, we can go ahead and change any of the properties that we want on them. So, for example, we can go ahead over here to the side where we've got some materials, and we can change that from oak to cherry. We can change this one. See, but they're all being changed separately. It's not like we have to change all of them just because they're in the group. Some of the other great things about group measurements is that you now get subtotals with those groups. So as we close hardwood flooring, you'll see that the subtotal for length is 250.28, and the subtotal for area is 1,133.77. Now, same with this resilient flooring. We've got a subtotal there. And with flooring in general, we then have a total flooring subtotal. Okay. Now, the radius tools, one of the other great new tools for measurements is the ability to do a center out radius. So previously in Revu, when doing radiuses, your option would actually be a 3-point radius. But now with a center radius, for example, people looking to see if this is ADA compliant can go ahead and measure out 2 feet 6 inches, 2 feet 5 inches. We're pretty close. Looks like that bathroom will pass ADA compliance over here. Okay. Now, in addition, when you're measuring small areas, the length measurement has also been updated to allow you to more easily see length measurements in small areas. Previously in Revu, these were all sort of scrunched into that area. But now you can go ahead and take that, and you can also move that measurement right off to the side, even rotate it. You go ahead and make your takeoffs look nice and pretty like you would in any other takeoff program. You can see that measurement now is clear to read and looks quite professional. So the last thing, when your takeoffs are complete, you are looking to create a summary of everything you've done. And I know that a lot of contractors are working in Excel. With Revu 12, we can now export not just this summary with the markups, but we can now include all of those subtotals or just export those subtotals to CSV. I'm going to just click OK on that, save this to the desktop, and go ahead. And now here it is. It's got all of those columns like it did for the other types. So you can delete a couple. But now it's got just the subtotals for our counts, lengths, areas, wall areas, and volume. Okay? So a very powerful tool now that you've got just the subtotals that you need. You can put them into your Excel formulas that you've already got set up, put together the bid, and get it sent out. Just fantastic. Okay. Now we've got one other big enhancement to measurements in Revu 12, and that's the ability to do calibration both on an X and a Y scale. We're going to open a railway plan to go ahead and demonstrate this. And in the measurement tabs, so go ahead and open those measurements again. One of the things you're going to notice is that there's this awesome separate vertical scale here. and the ability to calibrate both the X and the Y scale, which are both down here in the document, vertical and horizontal. So first, let me go ahead and calibrate the X scale using this horizontal measurement. It's going to zoom in just a little more. Right here. Okay, that's 100 feet, 0 inches. Click OK. All right, and then we'll go ahead and calibrate the Y scale here. And that'll be 10 feet, 0 inches. And click OK. So now we've got everything calibrated and ready to go. And just to make sure, let's go ahead. We've got a nice vertical measurement of 24 feet here that we can measure against. So we'll go ahead and there's the bottom of that measurement. Here's the top. 24 feet, calibrated well. But even more important than doing this vertical measurement properly as compared to the measurement on that X scale, it's actually the ability to measure an angled line like this one. So now we can go ahead and get an accurate measurement of this line. Come on up, give that a click, and now we have 534 feet and 9 inches for that line measurement. So doing measurements on bridges, roadways, and pipelines has never been easier or more precise. Now, as your projects are moving closer to completion, and the often painful process of punch does and backcheck begins, Revu's new capture tool makes it easier to easily track and reference site conditions and issues that need to be addressed. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to switch into our punch profile. Again, another profile, you'll see a tool chest has a variety of tools that are already set up for punch. And we're also going to jump into Studio here and go ahead and jump into a punch session we've already got up and running. Now, completing punch walks in real time is incredibly powerful because we can have multiple people in at the same time working on this same punch document. So you'll notice that Angela is on this session. She's actually on her iPad out in the field, and she's punching a different wing of the floor that I'm punching. I'm going to come down here, though, into the bottom here, over by classroom 104 and 105, and go ahead and take care of some punch here. So we'll go ahead, let's go ahead and do some punching. Now, one of the great things is that we can do a detail here on these punch symbols, and we can see easily what the problems are, whether we're looking at electrical punch keys or if we're doing a plan punch. Again, we can put that into detail mode. So let's go ahead and looks like we've got some damage to the door finish here, and it looks like there's some scratching on the wood. And come up with another one. Now, if we do find something where, like, we've got a problem with the wall joint somewhere, now instead of just having to say that wall joint, we can actually use capture here. Either capture something from our camera on site. So, for example, I could go ahead and take a picture with that iPad, just like Angela's doing out in the field, or we can take some images that we've already got going. And let's say we've got this wall issue. We can now go ahead and just add those in. So we can take another file as well. Here's another wall issue. And what you'll see with capture is that these images are now all associated with the markup. Now, previously, these photos could only be added as a separate markup on the plan using that image tool I showed you guys earlier. But now they're all associated with this markup. And when we click on that little camera, we can go ahead and zoom through right here. Yep, click right through them. And then you can easily add additional photos from this dialog. Even using the camera on my laptop. Hey, guys. Go ahead and use that. And then they can also be deleted from here, real quick and easy. Now, one of the other things you can do is take those photos on the fly during the field walk and add them to markups. Now, I know Angela's working up top, and I believe she's actually found some issues up there that she's going to go ahead, and I'm actually going to follow her around. And what you can see is that I'm looking at her view. I'm not touching her mouse. I just click the little feet by her. looking at what she's looking at, and it looks like she placed some images through Capture here. So I'm actually going to take myself out of following her and go ahead and just click on that, and oh, she found some other wall issues that are sort of similar. And we can all be doing this in real time as we go along. Now this all shows up in the summary report down at the bottom, so let's go ahead and close these panels and pull up the markups list. All right, so all of these markups that we've placed right here, right, if we open up, let's go ahead and choose one we've got some, here we go, pictures associated with. You'll see we've got the markup there. We can sort and filter them, and then we can create summaries, whether that's to Excel or whether we print a PDF summary that includes all of those pictures. So I'm going to go ahead create that PDF summary, and I'm actually going to create it in a table and click OK. What you're going to notice is that Revu's gone ahead. It's done the PDF summary like it did earlier. Whoops. That's why I picked paper summary. It would help if I clicked PDF. Here we go, do that table, click OK. It's going to generate the PDF there. And now we've got a PDF with that markup summary, and it's got all of those pictures attached. So all the pictures we've done on previous ones are all in there. And now this is ready to be, sent out to everybody. So, and then again, as the various items do become addressed on our page, so as we're going through Punch, one of the great things we can do is we can set statuses. And one of the things we've done is set a custom status, and that custom status actually changes the color of the markup. Go ahead. And there we go. Now we've got a green markup here showing that it's completed. We come through and complete things on this project. We can go ahead and reset the status, and then go ahead, whether we do it from here or there, and just watches that color updates automatically, and then zoom out and see, okay, we still have quite a bit to take care of over in this corner of the building. Okay, now I did say I'd talk a little bit about Studio with you guys. For those of you who haven't seen it, we are in Studio sessions, and we've been doing this all in real time, Angela and I. You can invite all of your collaborators. They don't need to own a copy of Revu in order to attend your sessions. So this is great if you're working with a bunch of contractors, subs, owners. Everybody needs to be working on the same document set. And one of the great things that you can do on a regular basis is you can actually create a report of everything that's happened, who joined the session, who left the session, and what types of things they did during the session. And these records can be sent out with PDFs, and they can go ahead and just be saved. And what you'll see now is here's that report. It's got our document, but it's also got all of the report information. And if there's ever a question about what went on, you can click and see the view of the person within when they added their markup. So just some powerful tools when it comes to doing all of this work in real time, having a complete report of who said what when for complete accountability, being able to use that capture function, whether you're using it in Studio or just in Revu, to capture multiple pictures and associate them with the markup, and even the ability to track and sort everything in the markups list and use all of the tools that are available in Revu for real-time collaboration on a document. So this concludes the presentation of both the Revu 12 features and Revu. I'm going to open it up now for Q&A. Please use the chat window and go to webinar for questions, and we're going to go ahead and open things up. And before we do that, I just want to let you guys know that if you do want to learn more about Revu 12 or get a free 30-day trial of the software, you can contact CAD-1 at 303-427-2231, and they'd be more than happy to help you out. Let's go ahead and see what we've got going here in the question window. Do feel free to ask as many questions as you want. Did you have anything you wanted to say, Lawrence?
No, I do want to thank you. That was a great presentation. I've learned quite a bit. Bluebeam is something we have been utilizing in our own office, so I think the presentation, what you had showed, gives a good information of what others can utilize from these existing and new tools in 12 as well. So thank you. I do appreciate it.
So there were quite a few questions here about batch link, and I do want to go ahead and recap them. Batch link works on a single document with multiple pages, being able to use the page names to determine where it hyperlinks to, but it also works on folder sets or entire directories of files that are separate. So the PDFs don't have to be all in the, the files, the pages don't have to be in a single PDF or even in, just a single folder. They can be throughout a directory as long as the relative links, relative paths are kept clean. You don't move one file from one folder to the next, the link will work fine, which is great. Now, the materials that we did set up during our measurement example, I'm going to go ahead and jump back into review on this. As we were doing those measurements, go close out and pull that back up. Okay, here we go, our estimation page with those measurements. All of the materials and things that we have set up in here are actually custom columns. Just going through custom columns here, we set up one for material, which is a choice column. And as we set those up, we included the item. We included subjects because all of our markups are labeled by subject. And then we assigned a numeric value for them, allowing them to just show up when the subject is the same. But we've also got a subtotal formula we set up here. Now this is also pretty cool because if you go in to modify it, that expression looks just the way you would type an expression in Excel. If you wanted to add another thing, you would just start typing. So you could just add another variable. It would be really easy to add that in, or do a variety of functions on the variables that you have, or any variety of numbers. But that's all manually set up. Okay, now we also had a question about measurement settings in terms of how we go ahead and set and calibrate and recalculate all of these things. Calibrating when you have a no measurement on the page is the easiest way to go through and set those scales. But these scales can all be set manually. Typically the left-hand side is either shown in inches, centimeters, or millimeters, and the right side is either shown in inches, feet with inches, or inches, and that's just a drop down there. So we can go ahead and we can actually set our own scale for this. So we can just type in 2 inches equals 16 feet 0 inches, and we'd be up and ready to go with that measurement. Now again, if you do have a measurement already, I just type 16. There we go. So one of the things that you'll notice within review is that you will get your most accurate measurements if you calibrate the page to a known dimension on the page, but we know sometimes all you're given is a scale, so that can all be typed in there. Cool. Well, feel free to continue typing in questions. I'm going to hang out for a little bit, but I do want to thank you all for coming to today's webinar. And I hope you all have a great rest of your day and rest of your week. And again, do feel free to reach out to CAD-1 if there's anything they can help you with. Okay, looks like we've got a question about search in Review 12. So go ahead and get back into review. Now the search functionality in Review 12 is the same as the search functionality in Review 11. But one of the things that you may not have seen if you haven't been through the iteration of Review 11 yet is the ability to search rotations. And I'm actually going to go ahead and pull up another document, which is a little better for that. So I'm going to open the folder it's in and go ahead and pull up, where is, another estimation document that has a variety of small details. You'll see we've got a variety of sinks that are turned in multiple directions. One of the things that was introduced with Review 11 was the ability to search these visual cues in multiple directions. So give that a click, get that rectangle. I'm just going to search in the current page. So as you can see, we can search an entire folder for these. And just click OK, and Review is actually going to find all rotations of that sink on this page. It's a pretty powerful visual search tool, especially if you are doing any contracting or do need to be counting things, because you'll see all of those sinks show up. We've got, rotations to the right. We've even got rotations up and down. And with Review 11 and Review 12, you could check those all and then apply a count to them. So now there's a count, when we select that count, of 38 sinks in that building. And this can then be used, now with Review 12, you've got those count subtotals, so you could group all of your counts for sinks together, or all of your light fixture counts together, and have subtotals for the total number of light fixtures you're getting, as well as specific types of light fixtures. And again, just export those totals out with Review 12. So be able to combine that functionality. Now, in terms of text searching, we have made improvements to OCR, which is optical character recognition, within Review 12, the ability to take, scan text and make it searchable. And that will increase the ability for your search results to be more accurate on scanned documents. Now, the visual count tool does work on scanned documents without having to use OCR. It'll take any visual piece, whether the text is searchable or not on that document, and go ahead and go find that everything that looks like that visual piece. Just to note that with scanned documents, you may want to double check because sometimes the quality is not quite right and the pixels don't quite line up in a section of the document. It may miss a piece, but the visual count tool does work on scanned documents. Now, in terms of 3D PDFs and being able to section 3D PDFs, I'm going to go ahead and open that 3D PDF we were in earlier, come down to the recent. Here's passing in City Hall. All of the tools for that are available across the top here. So if you haven't navigated a 3D PDF before, go ahead and close a couple of these tabs here. One of the things that you'll notice is that there's a variety of tools for this navigation up here, along with the ability to cycle through views, choose how you pan and move, and then here's where that section box is available, show cross-section, show section box. And the section box was introduced in Review 11, so for those of you who are not working with Review 11 or Review 12, you will not be able to access that functionality, but as soon as you get the upgrade, you'll be good to go. Here's another great question. Is there any time frame to view 3D PDFs on the iPad app? Now, the iPad app is slightly limited compared to the full version of Review you've seen today due to processing power. There simply isn't the processing power on the iPad app at this time to view those 3D PDFs. If a more powerful version of the iPad does come out, we'll definitely look into adding 3D PDF functionality to the iPad app, but for the time being, your iPad would run so slowly trying to view a 3D PDF, it's just not feasible at this point given the technology. Now, that being said, for those of you who do want to take your 3D PDFs into the field, the full version of Review, which you've seen today, is available on Windows 8 full version tablets. So not Windows 8 RT, but for example, your Surface Pros and things like that that are running some pretty decent processors. And Review 12 will work on all of those quite nicely and pull up all of your 3D PDFs and perform all of the other functionality that's not available in the iPad app, such as compare documents and other processor-intensive projects. You guys have all had some great questions. Feel free to keep typing them in. Otherwise, if we don't have any more questions, we'll go ahead and wrap this up in just a couple minutes. Well, I want to thank you all for attending today's webinar. You've asked some great questions. And I do want to thank CAD-1 for putting this on, inviting you all to come out. Again, feel free to reach out to them if you need anything. They are more than happy to help you out with any questions you have, provide you with pricing for the software, as well as give you a free 30-day trial. So please call this number. Feel free to reach out to them for more information, and they'll be following up with you in the next couple of days. I believe with the recording, I know that this webinar has been recorded, but as well they'll be able to give you contact information in case you need anything else.
Yes, to confirm that, Meredith, we have recorded this session. We will take us a few days to get it edited and get it posted. We'll let everyone know. We have a few questions that had come through regarding the recording. So yes, we will have the recording, but better yet, there are some folks, depending on some of their questions, that we can actually have a live demonstration on site to actually apply what we've seen today to your particular organization or department. So definitely reach out to us for that, or some of the specific questions we've seen, we can reach out to you folks to take care of that registration as well. So thanks again for joining us. I appreciate everyone's time, and any questions, again, feel free to call us. We'll make sure to get everything you need.
Yep. Thank you so much.